Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out another episode of Kenny's Record Collection. Today's episode is going to be all about the 1983 punk hardcore classic Earth AD by the Misfits. You can see I got my Earth AD skateboard, my Earth AD Super 7 figure. It's a celebration of that album today. It's going to be turning 40 years old in December. So I figured I would make a video all about it and how highly collectible this album is. So right here, this is a first pressing. Amazing artwork by Mad Mark Rude. He did a lot of other work for the Misfits and other punk bands way back when. And this supposedly took him like 100 hours to do. Amazing detail in the artwork. He's depicting all of the members of the Misfits, if you could find them. Really cool. And the back cover, which is the Wolf's Blood artwork. Different artist, Carol Stockard. Really cool. Unbelievable detail in this artwork. For such a short album, it's got some really insane artwork. So if you're wondering if you have a first pressing of this album, I have this great book called On Earth as It Is in Hell. This depicts all the different versions, all the different label variations, and all the different printing errors. So that makes this album very collectible. The original, see that lighter pink version? That's supposedly the first version, but it's debated. It's not totally 100% accurate. Nobody really knows for sure, but this color is the one that I have. So this book, made by a collective of misfits like maniacs, it depicts all the different pressings that you can find out there. So this is the version that's considered the most common of the first pressings. And another way you could tell, there is artwork on the label. And you see there's a circle around. That's from when the record is pressed. It has something to do with the original stampers that they use to press the record. On the original versions of this, there's the big circle. Later versions, like in the 90s, have a small circle. And the artwork also on the first pressing is very clear. There's no degradation in the actual edges of the artwork. Very clear. Later versions, they start to really decline in quality. And the matrix numbers, I mean, it's pressed by Master Disc on all of them, I believe. And it also says EDP, which was Europa pressing. It's real nerd deep stuff. But if you really want to get into figuring out if you have a real first pressing, that's what you got to do. So I have another really different version that's also highly sought after. In 1986, they repressed the album. I believe they were using a different company, and what happened, they messed up at the printer, whoever was in charge of getting the colors correct. If you see above, I believe this is supposed to be Jerry only as a Ghoul. The regular part of his hair is that deep black. Then above it, the spikes are actually the same as the colors behind him. So when they actually made this, they didn't realize that those spikes were supposed to be from his hair. They thought it was part of these electrical bolts that are behind him. So this is known as the Ghoul's Hair Era, and it's highly sought after. The blacks are also a little off on the statues. If you compare it to the regular version, I mean, it's pure nerdery. But this is why we do this. See, that's how it's deep black all around, deep black over here. And these are deep black up here. See that? How these lightning bolts. So that's the real difference. And the back covers are basically the same. Later versions of this also have, it'd say Plan 9 Caroline, but these are original versions. They just say Plan 9. Caroline had a deal with Plan 9 and Glenn Danzig. I'm not sure, of the details or whatever, but I think in 1986, the Misfits and Sam Hain and I think all of the pressings went through Caroline. So I also have another much later version of this record that's almost undocumented. It's not in this book, and I'm going to show it to you now. This pressing is from the 90s, I believe. And you could see this also has that Ghoul Hair era. But there's also another printing error right there. There's these strange blocks. It's almost like, I really don't understand how that would have happened. But if you have a version, there's also versions from the 1990s that have these blocks, but without this Ghoul's Hair error. So it's a little bit of an oddity, this one. I'm really not sure. It's not documented in that book. But you could see this version has Caroline and also has a barcode. The originals don't have a barcode. So, this is like another of these rabbit holes that, once you start really paying attention, you notice there's a lot of oddities out there. And there's also the matrix numbers, like on the original Ghoul's Hair era that I have. Those are called S pressings. So if you look on the 1986 versions of the Misfits and Sam Hain records, they have S's in them. And I think that stands for the stamper or something like, I'm really not sure. It's all, conjecture and hearsay. We'll never really know for sure because, Glenn Danzig doesn't really give out too much information about this stuff. So yeah, let me know what versions you have of Earth AD. I would love to find out. Let me just show you before we go. The Super 7 figure. It's got that artwork. Now, Super 7 are so in tune with record collecting and all the, minutia. They also released Ghoul's Hair era versions of the Earth AD figure, which I would love to get my hands on. Yeah, but at the time when this came out, I didn't find one. It's got the cool t-shirt order form style artwork on the back. And then we got this skateboard. All right, I'm not going to try to put that there because it's going to fall. We got the skateboard produced by Zero Skateboards. They made a bunch of Misfits decks a while back. I believe they're still in production. There are a lot of different versions of Misfits decks over the years. And a lot of different companies, have worked with them. The Glenn Danzig version of the Misfits, the Jerry Only version of the Misfits. It also has a cool sticker that it came with, Zero Business. It's like horror business. And that's the artwork on the top of the deck. Misfits and Zero. So yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to put that out there with you guys, all the different versions of Earth AD. Like I said, if you have any questions about your versions, I have all the information. If you want to hit me up, I'd be happy to help you out, try to figure out which version you have. And yeah, that's it. If you could please subscribe, that would be awesome. Like, comment, just let me know you're out there. Let me know, what you're collecting, what you're into. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Take it easy.